Welcome back to Brazen Brits. I am Lawrence.
And I'm Natalie.
And after the success of our last collaboration video and the feedback that we got from you, we have decided we're going to do another one.
Yeah.
So let's roll the intro and then we're going to tell you all the things that we look for when we're booking a campground.
It really makes me wonder. Yeah, it makes me wonder. Oh, I wonder. I just wonder.
We have decided, if you didn't see our last collaboration video, we were talking as part of a group with some other YouTubers from all different walks of life and all different sized channels, and we were discussing a few things, and we all RV very, very differently. So we thought we were going to do some collaboration videos on like the top 3 of this, or our top 3 of this, or what's important to us, because it's different for them. And so the last one worked out amazingly well, and it was crazy interesting. We've had some really good feedback on it. So below here we are collaborating with these other 5 channels. They all have the same video released at the same day at the same time right now, and we want to see what they say. So today's subject is things we consider when booking a campground.
3 things we consider when we're booking a campground. Otherwise, that could go on for a long time.
Well, that's true, yeah. We could talk all day long, and we're bad enough at that already, so we limit it to 3.
Okay.
So anyway, so let's just jump straight in. So for those of you who've been watching the channel, these are pretty obvious of what's important to us and what's not, and this will vary depending on who you are. And I'll talk about that in a moment. But number 1, Natalie.
Oh, breed restrictions. That's the number 1 thing I have to look for every time we're booking a campsite. Is I have to look in the fine print. If I can't find it in the fine print, I have to phone them. Because,
most times you've had to phone, right?
Yes, most times I've had to phone, because they'll just put dangerous breeds or aggressive breeds not accepted. I'm like, well, what does that mean? Please describe these breeds.
So if you're new here, the reason why is because we have a Doberman.
Yes.
And he's the loveliest, soppiest dog ever. But sometimes campgrounds will purposely say no Dobermans, Rottweilers, German Shepherds, Pit Bulls. Yeah. And so sometimes we have been to a couple of places where we haven't found out until we've got our welcome pack, and it says on the welcome pack, it didn't say when we're booking it.
No, so because they don't update their websites very often, so...
Yeah. So anyway, so breed restriction is number 1. There's nothing worse than setting up and people saying you're not allowed that dog here and you have to move.
Yep.
Never happened to us, but because we put this into it. Okay, number 2, really obvious. I mentioned it in our last collaboration video. It's sorry,
snakes.
I had an ant. It's not snakes.
Make sure there's no snakes there.
I had an ant walking on my foot, and it is internet connection.
Yep.
Like, I work on the road, we do YouTube. Without internet connection we can't do either of those things. So unless we're on vacation, internet connection is our number 2 priority. So Natalie will go through, look at all the internet maps, the cell coverage maps on the internet, and make sure that we have coverage. Natalie does an excellent job with that.
I try.
Once it didn't work out, but the map was actually said there was coverage and there wasn't, and that was a horrible week for us. But I know what you're saying. Starlink, get Starlink. Everyone's getting it.
Yeah, we're already getting,
I have some concerns with it, and
we'll discuss that.
We're discussing it, and we probably will buy it. But I'm just letting you guys experience that first and iron out the problems, and then we'll buy it. So then, number 3.
Number 3 is price. For us, because especially when we are, well, on our first trip we were paying a mortgage and travelling, we really couldn't afford to go above budget. But however, over Christmas we were like, oh, let's blow it a little bit, we're at Key West. But for the most part we always try to stick to under $50.
Well, here's the thing though, when we do a long trip, we did buy a house in Florida. We still have a mortgage, but we've cut our mortgage back a lot so that we can afford to travel more in the summer. So we stay here in the winter, we travel in the summer. And so when we're doing a long trip, we pay attention to the price. So we're not interested in like RV resorts. I'm working during the week, Natalie takes the dogs out, we go exploring at the weekends and in the evenings. So we don't need an RV resort. We don't need the pool, we don't need the kids stuff, we don't need the mini golf, we don't need any of that stuff.
Nope.
We just need somewhere to stay with hookups. And so the price is important. But like you said, when we went to Key West,
Yeah, that was a vacation.
That was a vacation.
A treat.
Yep, we were off work. We
Yeah.
wanted. It still wasn't an RV resort. There was no
No.
facilities,
No, it
but we went
wasn't,
to
yeah.
Key West, which is expensive enough. So if we're doing a weekend away, we spoilt ourselves a few times this
Yeah.
winter because we've gone away on vacation or like a weekend warrior.
Yeah.
And it was cool.
So
Like
it didn't matter if they were like, oh, it's
Yeah.
$60, $70 a night. I'm like, that's fine. We're going away for like 2 nights. I
two
don't
nights.
mind. But a weekly rate, I like to stick between
Yeah.
$20 and $30 a night, which is tough sometimes. So as long as it's not over 50, I don't really care what the actual campsite is like. As long as it has the other 3 things that we mentioned, we're in. And that's been great and bad for us, honestly. We've had some places that were extremely run down and
Yeah.
some places that were amazing for that price. I mean, blimey, the place
But
in
this is-
$19 a night? I know,
It's
it was
amazing.
awesome.
One of the best sites we've
Yeah.
been to. But this is the thing that we, over the past 2 years of kind of being full-time, most time, part-time, whatever you want to call it, our priorities have changed. So
Yes.
the dogs and cell are always important,
Yep.
but we
That
don't
doesn't
care
change.
about resorts. This is just our personal opinion. If you
Yeah.
have kids, we get it. You know, you want the resort, you want the activities. We don't care about any of that stuff, and that's why the campground that was $20 a night or $18 a night was fantastic because it had full hookups. We had a decent sized spot.
Yeah.
We had a picnic bench, which was great because we don't have one, obviously, and that's all we needed. It
Yep.
was cheap. The internet was amazing, and we did everything we wanted. We went out and
And it
explored.
did have, you know, some activity
and
things.
the
They, like,
people were lovely.
the people were lovely. They did have bingo and fire pit nights. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, there's all. I would say every place we've been to has had things like that, regardless.
True. Yeah. There's always been some activities, but we never really done any of them.
No, you're always working.
Always working. Well, we're working or we're out. So,
Or we're out.
or
We're
we're sat
exploring.
with subscribers and stuff like that. So it's always fun to do that. All right, I'm going to put a playlist up here. No, it is up here. I'm going to put a playlist up here of the other guys that we're collaborating with. They are down here. And also, if you would like to subscribe, please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so that you know when we upload new videos. And if you would like to become a Braziere and support a couple of tits, you can hit the join button. Thank you to all of our Braziers below for supporting us. We really appreciate it, and we hope to see you again soon.